Hello, everybody, and welcome in on this Thursday morning. We like to call it Friday Eve around here. We hope your day is off to a great start. Want to get you caught up on a couple of headlines before we transition into weather where you are, because again, that'll be happening in just a couple of minutes. Brooks Baptiste here, checking in from the First Alert Desk. Let's get right into these top stories. Right now, we're continuing to stay on top of a major cell phone outage that seems to be impacting a lot of people. If you have AT&T, you might even notice yourself that you're being impacted right now. Some of us on the Verizon side of things have not been impacted, but some have in that as well. We do want to tell you this: at one point, more than 44,000 customers, that's more than 44,000 customers were reporting not being able to use their phone on the tracking site Down Detector. This map, that we had on the air a little earlier on, it kind of just showed you that this wasn't just impacting the metro Atlanta area. It was impacting Dallas. It was impacting Houston, and a couple of other spots across our nation right now. Once we learn of more on this outage and when it's resolved, of course, we'll be sure to bring it to you both on air and on the free Atlanta News First app. Also, by the way, this seems to be impacting here in Fulton County some of the non-emergency calls that are coming in to Fulton County officials right now. So if you're trying to make a call, you may run into some issues with that, but it doesn't appear that the actual 911 line is being impacted. But again, Fulton County is dealing with a couple of issues right now because of this outage. So we'll be watching this closely and we'll be sure to bring it to you as well. Another story that we're watching, we've told you about some of the recent gun violence on school campuses here in the metro. Atlanta News First, Rebecca Schramm reports, telling us that school leaders say they're trying to be proactive to avoid things from happening once again.
The most recent school shootings have not been here in Clayton County, but school district leaders know they're not immune. So students here at Jonesboro High School and all other schools in the district are noticing some changes. Starting this week, Clayton County Public Schools implemented random searches. They're also using canine units to sniff out weapons and drugs, and they're planning to keep it up indefinitely so students won't know when to expect the searches. This is on top of safety measures already in place in the county, including metal detectors at each high school. The chief of schools for the district, Keith Colbert, tells us the idea is to catch any problems before they spiral out of control. It comes after two recent on-campus shootings in other nearby school districts, one at McEachern High School in Cobb County and one at Mays High School in the city of Atlanta. Colbert says the timing of the announcement about the random searches is important.
We're going into a extended time where we will not have breaks. So usually in the month of March, we experience a spike in our discipline data. So we think that based on that data from the past, this is a great opportunity for us to up the ante on our proactive measures.
He says this should also be a reminder to parents to do their own random searches and talk to their kids if they find anything concerning. In Jonesboro and Clayton County, Rebecca Schramm, Atlanta News First.
All right, Rebecca, thanks so much for that. Here's another story we have to bring to you developing this morning. One person is in the hospital in critical condition after a house fire. This happening overnight on Morehouse Drive. Firefighters tell us that 3 other people made it out of that home on their own, but a 4th person had to be pulled from inside the home, and that person was taken to Grady Memorial Hospital. Investigators are working to learn the cause of the fire. Here is a story you just have to hear, and one that is almost hard to believe. Not something you think that would happen to you until it happens to you. A man here in Georgia says Carvana sold him a stolen car, and he's worried that something like this could happen to you. Adrian Kirkland brought the red 2017 Corvette down in Savannah. He's all excited about it, but within hours of picking it up, he says it was gone. Savannah police say the car had been reported stolen, so Kirkland posted about this bizarre experience on TikTok, and he believes that Carvana should have known better.
I couldn't believe it, man. I thought I was being pranked, man. So many people have contacted me like, I can't believe they sold you a stolen car. How did it pass the insurance? Because the insurance people insured it. How did it pass the registration, the DMV? What did they get wrong?
I mean, he's got some valid concerns and some questions right there. I will tell you this, Carvana said the whole thing is a case of, quote, sophisticated fraud, and we are told that they are giving the man a full refund, and they offered to help him find a new Corvette. Let's take a live look outside on this Thursday morning. You know what? This is what it's supposed to look like out there. And you know what? This is what it's supposed to feel like out there. But as always, because it's Atlanta and Georgia weather, there's always some changes coming our way. First Alert Meteorologist Rodney Harris here on the First Alert desk to tell us about the changes that are happening. But Rodney, today, for the most part, it's going to be a nice one.
Brooks, let me tell you, man, what you're seeing out there right now on that live camera and what you're going to feel this afternoon will be spectacular. I want to start by talking about the 70s, Brooks, because as you can see here, we're pushing 70 degrees today in Atlanta. Our high in Atlanta will be 69. As you go further south, the low 70s, so 70 in Carrollton, 71 in LaGrange, 71 in Griffin, 73 in Edenton. So what I want to focus on with this weather where you are the 70s. It's February, so like it's this normal. Are we supposed to be seeing the 70s this time of year? Our high today in Atlanta is 69, but next week we will hit 70 at least 3 days in a row, next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I wanted to dive into this in a little bit more detail because a lot of people have been asking how unusual is this. So for the month of February, the entire month of February, our normal high in Atlanta is 58 degrees. When you go month by month, obviously February is one of the cooler months of the entire year. So that's typically where our monthly high would be, around 58. So that's clearly above average anytime we hit 70. But 70 does happen. So I talked about this earlier this week. We average 70-degree days every February in Atlanta. So every February you can count on at least 2 days being 70 or above. So far, last year, we had 11 days in February where the temperature hit 70 or warmer. So as you can see, last year we definitely had way more 70-degree days than what we're accustomed to in February. Now, so far this year, we've only had one 70-degree day this month, and that was earlier this month. It was exactly 70 degrees. But again, we're going to add at least 3, if not more, to that tally this year as we're expecting the 70s later next week. And then for the most number of 70-degree days that we've seen in February, that was 13 days all the way back in like 1890. So that was more than 100 years ago. So this gives you a little perspective. The 70s in February, they are rare, but they do happen. And we're going to add to that total this year in particular with some nice warm weather coming here across metro Atlanta. Again, nearly 69 today. We'll actually cool off a little bit as we go into the weekend because of a cold front that's moving in on Friday morning, but then we're back into the 70s for Friday afternoon. So it's currently 60 degrees right now. If you step out the door right now, 60 degrees. We're already 3 degrees warmer right now compared to yesterday. Again, 69 will be the high. These are your hour-by-hour temperatures. What I really want to do is show you the forecast. And First Alert Meteorologist Courtney Jacobazi walked you through this earlier. I want to kind of reiterate, we are forecasting rain tonight and into Friday morning. So it'll be really nice first with these warmer temperatures, and then the showers associated with this cool front will move in around 8 o'clock tonight in metro Atlanta. And it's not going to be much. As you can see, this is not a lot of rain, just a spotty shower or two at 8 o'clock. So if you're coming home from dinner, don't be surprised if you see that this evening. Then when the front itself is moving in, we are forecasting a line of rain and some isolated storms to move into metro Atlanta between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. So this particular model we've been showing all morning long shows that line moving in between 3 and 4. It shows it sticking around at 5 o'clock in the morning. So that is the first part of your commute. And then it has it moving out by 7 a.m. on Friday morning. We're going to have to watch that timing very carefully. Right now, Friday is not a First Alert weather day because the rain is for the most part moving out before most of you go to work. But if our models continue to show it raining at 5 o'clock in the morning, we may have to activate a First Alert weather day just to get you out the door for the first part of your commute. We haven't done that yet, but we are going to be looking at that model data. So definitely stay weather ready this afternoon and evening as our First Alert meteorologists throughout the day will be analyzing that data for you. Including Fred Campagna and Cutter Martin and Patrick Pete. They will be watching that forecast very carefully. Right now, we're forecasting the rain to kind of move out before most of you get to work. But if that slows down just a little bit, we'll have to give a little bit more awareness to that in the morning. Either way, once that rain moves out, we'll go like mostly sunny by Friday afternoon. So Friday will also turn out to be a pretty decent day. The weekend is also looking really good. I'm working on your forecast right now, your updated forecast for the weekend. So be sure and join us on Atlanta News First at noon. And yeah, enjoy the 70s. That's really the story for this particular update. Wanted to let you know that the 70s are in your forecast. We might hit it today. If we don't hit 70 today, we'll certainly hit the 70s next week. So that's something we'll all certainly enjoy. We hope that you guys have an amazing Thursday. Till next time, we'll see you soon.